Hello, everyone. In today's episode, I'll be speaking on ego development theory. And what is ego? I would describe it as your sense of self, what you refer to when you say I. And then you say, I'm this, I'm a dentist, I'm an athlete, I'm whatever label. See, everything that comes after the words I am is limiting. Even if it's a label that has positive baggage, it is still putting you into a box, into a category. And see, the most developed egos understand labels should be taken on and off. Don't get attached to them. Use them, but don't attach your self-worth to a label. The comfort zone, it's going to lead you down a dark path. Truly, when you sit inside and don't expand into your fears and test new things and challenge yourself, you become weak. I heard this quote from Khabib. He says, too many movies make your heart weak because, movies aren't reality. And your comfort zone is not reality. You're shielding yourself, sitting inside of this box, limiting your potential. There's no greater sin than limiting and squandering your potential. So it's super important to extend your limits, to get out of your comfort zone. It's all right to come back into it. Just don't reside there. Don't camp inside your comfort zone. I don't want you to feel chaotic and uncomfortable all the time, but there needs to be a balance. See, the themes of patience, balance, and paying attention to what makes you feel a certain way, reflection essentially, those are game changers. When you go directly into your fear, it's not an easy thing to do, and it's mind-blowing, the counterintuitive nature of reality. See, if you go to the gym in the short term, that's challenging, but it becomes easier over the long term. And if you don't take care of your body in the short term, it's, I guess, easier, but in the big picture, it becomes so hard because then you become disease ridden. You're out of breath when you walk up the stairs, etc. So anytime you have a decision to make, ask yourself the question, what is the harder choice here? More often than not, the hard route in the moment is going to be the better route for your future self. And it's up to you. See, some people might have to go through multiple lives to come to this realization that what the short-term pleasures do to you is not actually what you want or need in your life. See, the trap of pleasure is a tricky one because it feels so good in the moment. But if you have the know-how to just anticipate some potential regret, to think strategically about where some action is going to lead you, then you're going to come to the conclusion that the hard path is the way. So I touched on labels. See, it's cool to be able to put this label on, which is a costume. I'm an athlete, I'm this, I'm that. But the moment that you attach to the thing after I am, see, you're not a human doing, right? You're a human being. So it's not what you have in this life or what you do, what your status is, what your label, your title is. All that stuff is okay, but it is not who you are. That's not what life is about. See, it's the balance that we want is to understand our emotions on a deep level and to also be in this world, understanding that we need to craft these soft and hard skills, these practical skills that allow us to make society and the world better. If you're only an emotional, spiritual seeker, you limit yourself so much. And if you're only a business-minded, physical, successful athlete, you limit yourself so much. But when you learn how to knit that connection between both spectrums that I've listed, then you don't limit yourself at all, and you actually allow for your potential to be reached. This one, it truly took me a bit to even begin to fathom, which is, what frustrates you is teaching you. What does that mean? Okay. For example, if my dog does something that angers me or annoys me, the responsible choice, the higher choice, is to notice that feeling and to stay centered. See, it's a choice to lose your cool. The thing is, most people are unaware and they are not on the level where they are capable of noticing their feelings arising. So there's a gap between the feeling arising and you reacting to the feeling. And if you can become aware of that gap, and then you choose your response intentionally, that is different. See, notice the words: reaction versus response. Your response is when you're aware of the gap. Your reaction is when you're unaware of the gap. And so the response is very conscious and intentional. The reaction is like you're reacting as an animal, fight or flight. It is your subconscious programming operating. And I wouldn't say that there's a problem with your reactions. See, this is the intriguing part about life, is everyone, you and I, everyone is at the right place at the right time. And this can be so difficult to accept and understand when your ego, when your sense of self does not like the position, the circumstance that you are experiencing on a daily basis. But the truth is that life happens for you. Nothing is happening to you. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. See, it's a choice to be a victim. And it's also a choice to take your lessons and experiences to seek and reflect upon what you can learn from them. See, a mistake is only a mistake if you are attached to the idea of failure. Rather, if you choose to look deep and say, okay, well, this thing happened. Maybe it's not what I expected or desired to happen. Yet, the truth is, I know there's something I can learn from this experience. Now, it's your job to be responsible and aware enough to make that conscious decision. See, you can use a failure as a reason to quit, or you can use a failure as a stepping stone. That's all up to you. But here's the truth. Those who use failures to build themselves and make themselves stronger, those are the people who reach peace and success in the big picture. If you do not create your life intentionally, if you don't design every detail of your reality on a day-to-day basis with intention, then someone else is creating that for you. It's either you make the choice to create your life, or you allow someone else to use you to create their life. Does that make sense? What the theme is you have a dream and you're either all in on your dream and you're intentional, or you are a pawn in someone else's dream. Rather, the beautiful crossroad here is when you're pursuing your dream, and then that allows you to help others pursue their dream. And that's the beautiful point that we want to get to. So something that is worth noting is, what does unintentional living look like? See, often in my life, it's been easier to know what I want to stay away from, what I don't want to become, what I do not want to participate in, and then reverse engineer. And then just knowing what you don't want, it helps you get a bit closer to, okay, well, process of elimination, not that, not that, not that. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see. See, you don't just create purpose. It doesn't just fucking I'll delete that. Maybe I won't. It doesn't just pop out of thin air. When you get a fire within, it's due to you taking the initiative, being intentional, and investing your energy in a way where you've led yourself down a pathway that your natural curiosities make themselves known, that you are now aware of something that you're intrigued by, something that naturally just grasps your attention and says, you should do more of this. See, that is why I'm speaking to the camera right now. It wasn't some grandiose decision. Oh, I'm going to become this. I'm going to do this. No, it was just the slow evolutional process of, well, I really enjoy doing that. Well, I love speaking about that. And maybe if I could help others know this thing that has helped me so much, that took me many years to come to, well, maybe I can save them years of suffering. And hey, if I could reduce the amount of suffering that other people have to experience, well, I feel as if that's a worthwhile mission, right? Even if it takes years of effort, many moments of failure, many moments of self-doubt, many trials and tribulations. I think all those things which I've just listed make the whole experience even more valuable. See, if someone were to hand me my dream drift car, my drag car, my street car, etc., I wouldn't appreciate it nearly as much as when I earn it down the road, knowing all the thousands of hours that it took for me to earn the wealth, to build the skills, to become the man that was capable of earning that money and having those cars built. So think big picture. Try to unravel like the deeper things. See, what you want usually is not what you need, and what you need usually is not what you want. Haha. Who made this up? I don't know. Life is a tricky game, honestly. It's interesting when you come across this idea that the world is not as it is, but the world is as you are. So, what does that even mean, Justin? It's like how you see yourself is what you project onto the world. For example, I'm sure you've heard of this. You buy the new red car, you see many more new red cars on the road. So, therefore, if you're labeling yourself as depressed, oppressed, miserable, etc., I can promise you, you're going to have an abundant amount of reasons to be and to justify those feelings. So the point comes down to being super intentional, understanding like, okay, what words am I using? How am I speaking? What is the tone of voice? Who do I surround myself with? What sort of energies are in my environment? Because all of this affects you. See, maybe your conscious mind is not aware, but your subconscious mind is continuously listening every moment, every single moment. And your conscious mind can process like 1/10, maybe even 1/100th of the amount of information that the subconscious can process. So that in itself is interesting. The differentiation, the understanding of the conscious mind versus the subconscious. I think that has to be one of the most powerful things that any human can come across. If you want better relationships in your life, with your family, with yourself, more confidence, to eliminate self-doubt, to overcome your insecurity, and to have a better relationship with the internal voice of your mind, that internal judge, all of this I can help you with, and it would be a pleasure, honestly. So links in description. Not sure whether it'll be a DM to my Twitter or some of my potential free lead magnets, but links in description. If you're interested in having someone accelerate your growth, see, I can't do the work for you, no intention. My work is not any sort of magic pill. What I do for you is I take years of content and education, and I put it into a systemized structure so that you have the right education at the right time. See, that's what all helpful people or creators or like publishers, etc. That's what they're doing. They're just systemizing and organizing information in an easy to digest way. See, you can get the information, but how long it'll take you to find it in the right order, see, that's why you pay people. So truly, if you've made it to the end, I'm just thankful for you. I appreciate you. And the practical guidance that I'll leave you with here is to understand that your foundation is what matters the most. And what you need to prioritize if you want high energy. And see, high energy is what allows you to become successful in this worldly experience, because we all have 24 hours in the day. So what makes the difference between one human who doesn't do well and one human who becomes free within their mind and externally is materialistically successful? See, the difference, the most fundamental difference between the former and the latter is the one who makes it, the one who is successful, prioritizes the fundamentals: great sleep, exercise routines, quality nutrition, daily meditation, and healthy networks and connections. See, it's the growth mindset or the fixed mindset. Are you willing to admit that there is much that you don't know while accepting what you can't change and aiming to improve what you can change? Or do you say, well, I'm a victim, the world is doing this to me, life is very hard, life is not fair, wah wah, etc. Like, you create your own pain by sitting in that fixed mindset. And I know if you're listening to this, you're either number one, you've already overcome that, or number two, you're working to shift to the growth mindset. So, like, this isn't crazy advice, and I know many people won't follow it. And, that's okay. That's okay. Everyone is at the right place at the right time. Sometimes that is difficult to accept, but it's a great reminder. Anytime you're resisting, you're attached to a reality that is leading you to feel uncomfortable, whether it's jealousy, anger, sadness, etc. If you are attached to that which is causing you pain, it's going to do you justice to say, you know what? Well, reality is as it is, and what can I do in this current moment to feel better? So, what I mean there is a healthy outlet like gym, reading, writing, journaling, having a conversation, cleaning your house, cleaning your car, etc. Just doing something that is going to make you feel a bit better. Maybe it's even just sitting there and doing nothing and breathing and focusing on your breath, just channeling your attention away from the lower frequency emotions like fear, scarcity, etc., and aligning your focus on that which is going to bring you better feelings. So, lastly, to wrap this up, this world operates on vibrations and energy frequencies. So, those uncomfortable negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, they are low on the spectrum of vibration. And when you fill your days with healthy actions, you are going to operate on a higher level on the frequency vibration. Therefore, your thinking is going to be aligned with that frequency. And when you're thinking good, you're feeling good. When you're feeling good, you make other people feel good. When you do that, your whole life gets better. More people want to be around you. You become high value. You become successful. It's a feedback loop. So if you want to sit and dwell and be fixed mindset, wah, do it. That's okay. But if you would like to build something, if you would like to become a person that you can admire, a leader, someone who makes the world better, see, think of this. You throw the pebble in the lake, the water ripples. Same thing with you and your energy. You show up strong, high energy, positive, and just looking to become better, that just spreads. It is magnetic. when your energy is positive. So lastly, if this was helpful, I do these for many reasons, but bottom line is there are multiple beneficial side effects. So that's why I'm doing it. I would appreciate just if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy, that's fine, okay? But if you did enjoy, just drop me a like, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know, what are you thinking? Comments, and share it with a friend, please. Tell them what you got from it, why you're sharing it, what you uniquely liked, what your takeaway was. Just share it with a friend. Much love. Appreciate you. Be back next week.